This video is for periods 3 and 7, and the reason for that is the amount of work that got done in both questions or both classes are the same. The only difference is I got to tell period 7 answers before they left versus period 3 we didn't get to that. So I'm going to use period 3's notes to fill them out. As we go through, I will talk about what we set up and then solve the problems. So to start, on number 1, we discussed about how these two angles that are highlighted in blue are vertical angles. We set up that the general equation was the top angles measure equal to the bottom angles measures. We chose that order for our letters, with E being the vertex, and we chose vertical angle theorem for our reasoning. So now we just need to substitute in. And then solve it. So I'm going to move the x's to the left, numbers to the right. X equals 9. And in each one of these problems they ask me to solve for x, so I'm just going to box my answer when I get there. Angle APE and EPB are supplementary, so since they're supplementary, we said their measures add up to be 180, and we use the reasoning of definition of supplementary angles. Substitution in. Combine like terms on the same side, so I'd have 9x plus 27 equals 180. Nine x equals 153, so when I do that, divide it out, x equals 17. The next question we have is number 3. With number 3, angle pi and angle fun are complementary. Find x if measure of angle pi is 10x plus 3 and measure of angle fun is 10x plus 7. So based on the word complementary, we said that the two angles measures add up to equal 90. So definition of complementary angles, that is the shortened version of complementary. So I'm just going to substitute in. Combine like terms, so I get 20x plus 10 equals 90. 20x equals 80. Divide by 20, and x equals 4. On to the next one. For x, or to find x, we saw that these two angles here that were given to us are adjacent, and they form a line. This line here represents that we can't just move numbers over at this moment because it wouldn't help us solve anything. We still end up having to use a linear pair. So when you have two angles adjacent, you always want to solve using a linear pair. So the measures of angles PQR and the measure of angle RQS add up to equal 180. So substitute things in. Simplify, subtract the 42. Divide by 6. And x equals 23. Last but not least, we have number 5. Number 5 is a set of problem where we have this set of angles and these two angles here that are parts add up to be the whole. There is a 90 degree, but we discussed in class that if there is not complementary up here in the problem that is given to you, you cannot use definition of complementary angles. You must use angle addition postulate. Therefore, we're going to take and plug in what we know. The big angle is 90, so we have 90 equals. And then ABD is 5x plus 1 plus x plus 11. 6x plus 12 equals 90. $78 equals 6x, divide by 6, x equals out to be 13. And as I said, each one of these questions asks you just to solve for x. After you solve for x, make sure if we ask you to find the measure of an angle, you plug it back in. Your homework is homework 7 if you have not finished it. And then there is a handout with the sub. After you finish that you need to get before the end of class. Once again, this is video for period 3 and 7, and then all students can watch this if they would like.